taking a walk in Austin. It's a beautiful day. I think everybody's been thinking about the death of the Alamo Drafthouse recently in our film circles, our film nerd circles. Kind of reminded me of my first trip to the Alamo, which I wanted to talk about a little bit. This was back in the waning days of the Colorado Street location, the Warehouse District location, before they were gearing up to move to the Ritz, which is now, as we maybe all know, the comedy mothership. It was July. I was there for orientation. Decided I'm going to walk. It was before Uber, so I'm just going out there and taking a walk. And I did that a lot. That formed a lot of the early days of me, my freshman year, as I was making friends and could convince them to do this with me. So that landscape of state buildings, sort of tan brutalism that area has, that was sort of the landscape of my cinephilia. But this would have been my first Weird Wednesday, last official Weird Wednesday at the original Alamo location. Maybe not the most ideal location for a cinema, sound bleed issues, but it was a beautiful place. And so the movie they were playing that day was called Snakes, or Holy Wednesday. And it's about this dude who has a bunch of snakes. He's an eccentric on the edge of town, and so he brings these snakes to one of the mild-mannered school teachers in town, and she has fun with the snakes. She pleasures herself with snakes. It's great. It's a beautiful thing. And then he runs afoul of the holy roly types. They mess with his Wednesdays, and he tells them, if you want your Sundays, don't mess with my Wednesdays. Also, and this, must note this, Lars Nilsson, the amazing programmer from those days, he brought a whole band, because this old coot, he also loves John Philip Sousa, so there was a whole band in front of the screen who would, launch into John Philip Sousa at the appropriate times. But the energy of that, and then also the way that it represented to me, I think, what I had hoped for from Austin, this idea of there's an eccentric, there's someone who, kind of goes by the beat of his own drum, this snake lover dude and his snake loving client, they just wanted to live. And I think that's what I thought I would find here is, people who are artists, who are eccentrics, who wanted to, just kind of live their lives peacefully. And that is what I found here. I think the sad thing is that it just feels harder and harder for those people to live in the way that they want to. That's, sadder to lose than the Alamo Drafthouse, because there are go to Hyperreal Film Club, film culture, and go to AFS. Film culture in Austin is very much alive, and I think so is, the artistic community here, even if it's harder than it's ever been for us to actually actualize ourselves. So while I obviously think that the whole mobile ordering thing sucks ass, I think the biggest threat to the Austin film culture, if you're worried about that, is making sure that queer people are welcome here and they're not totally made into enemies of the state.